There's no bread, let there be cake. There's no end what to take. Float the fruits of Nobel bath. Wash the salt into the earth. But they're marching to a Bastille Day. The guillotine will claim her bloody prize. Ouch. Hi everybody, I'm Conquering History Games and welcome to live stream number 3 of We, the Revolution. Happy Bastille Day edition, because it is already past midnight in France, which means that it is Bastille Day, which is the traditionally celebrated day when it comes to celebrating the French Revolution. Now, which French Revolution? That's a whole other question, but for those who don't know what I was singing there awfully, that was not that Geddy Lee was much better, let's be perfectly honest. It was the band Rush, which is famous for such songs as Tom Sawyer and Spirit of the Radio and etc. Kind of early on in their career, I think it was their third album, Caress of Steel, opened with a song called Bastille Day. So anyway, that's what that was. Of course, if you are a monarchistic reactionary, today is not dedicated to Bastille, but is rather dedicated to the Fête de la Révolution, the celebration of the first anniversary of the Revolution, where we have good Bishop Talleyrand making Lafayette the hero of the kingdom and whatnot. Anyway, how about we play now? So. It's evening of Act 4, I'm hanging out, my whole family's here at dinner except for my wife. Anyway. So, let's just get into it. Why would the Reinhardt family want to take over your shop, Grandpapa? For power and profit, it's always the same and it's no different in these times. Today is about equality, so that not only the aristocrats can live with dignity. Grow up, boy, as I only saw the truth when they attempted to sentence my son, your uncle, to death. It suddenly dawned on me that the only thing that mattered was the power I never had and the connections I never cared for. Alexis says, if you want to be righteous while the injustice spread like a plague, you should not be sorry for that. Yes, that's right, so that's what we were just talking about. I am not, but I would rather your brother lived so that I still had 2 sons. You have a brother, Dodgy? Where is he? He died a long time ago, before you were born. Why did he die? Do not talk so much while eating. Your uncle went to war and died in battle. Your generation will soon realize the extent of the damage we inflicted upon the world. In the past, decent people like Pochard never had to worry about courts or tribunals, but now... Did you even consider the possibility that Pochard was guilty? No, not Mr. Pochard. He was no guiltier than any of us. Son, keep an eye on the Renauds. Okay, so relations with family. Well, didn't we already? Yeah, so it's just showing we went down with them, Oh, because my decisions in court, so everybody's a little annoyed with me right now. So because I guess there's going to be a story event, so we can't do any of this other stuff. So, Burrell and the riot. Hey, you signed off with the use of deadly force against protesters. Your family's not all that keen on talking to you tonight. And nobody like that, except for the little boy who doesn't even know what's going on. That sucks. Well, at least we still get the reputation bonus from our wife. I'm hitting accept. Let's go. Okay. I really wish there was a little bit more sound in this game. Kind of fill things out. A bit more of a score or something. Okay, it's a new day. Yes, it is. And we have a new trial, I think. Wait a minute. Oi, is this Burrell? Is this the head of the National Guard? What is happening here? Let's read the case note. Oh, wait, no, that's not the case note. What is going on here? Oh, let's move this over here. Oh, this looks like a big one here, isn't it? Um, so, the case file. In the dock sits Burrell, the former commander-in-chief of the National Guard. Gee, I wonder what happened that he is no longer that. The defendant stands accused of causing the death of 34 people who took part in a demonstration against monarchic authority. Around 3 p.m., two spontaneous groups of protesters stumbled... Sorry, something in my throat. Stumbled upon each other in one of the streets leading to Palais Vendôme. A quarrel broke out between the supporters and opponents of Citizen Capet, with both sides engaged in a heated argument. None of the involved parties managed to gain the upper hand, and they quickly resorted to name-calling and public threats. Soon after, a National Guard detachment led by the defendant arrived on the scene. According to the eyewitness testimony of Blaise Fawcett, Commander-in-Chief Burrell stood himself between the two groups alone and attempted to talk sense into them. He was quickly shouted down by the protesters. A few of them vocally accused the Commander-in-Chief of violating their freedom of speech. A rock flew over Burrell's head. When he then walked up to the regiment that until this point had stood away from the crowds. The Commander-in-Chief ordered them to load their muskets and aim at the protesters. He shouted to the mob that they should leave, which the people of France of course ignored. Then, as Fawcett testified, another rock barely missed his head. This time it managed to hit one of the soldiers in the chest, leaving him breathless for a moment. Burrell ordered the troops to fire. Bullets reached 34 people in total on both sides of the protests. Wow. So wow, guys, one of the National Guardsmen, he couldn't breathe for a couple of seconds, so we had to massacre everybody. During his arrest, hard to believe that none of the groups want me to let him free on the expected sentence section. During his arrest, Burrell tried to explain that he had the tribunal's opinion, which stated he could use force if needed. He tried to defend himself with similar opinions from the convention. Prosecutor Tinville did not care for such explanations, and his fiery speech convinced the deputies to dismiss him. Now he's trying to convince the judge to impose an additional punishment. Okay, so he's already been fired, but now it's just what does he get? What's going to happen in addition to that? Okay, so the revolutionaries aren't going to like it if I let him go, and it's already kind of low with them. Let's see what's the deal here. We all know who this villain is. Burrell, Commander-in-Chief of the National Guard, and shut up already! Let us proceed directly to the testimony. Alright. So, I guess, what, tribunal opinion, would that be extenuating circumstances? Shit. Or would that be his defense? Nice. Okay. The accusation would be Commander-in-Chief's recklessness. Offender's personality, is that no. Dismissal. Dismissal be like course of events or something. Injured soldier, would that be the extenuating circumstances maybe? Gosh, I'm not feeling about this. I'm not feeling great about this one. Causing death is, I think that's the accusation. Which of those options are there? That's a good point, creative nickname. I need to write that down next time. Crowd fervor would be, I don't know, extenuating circumstances. Order to load muskets would be course of events, maybe. Recklessness. Offender's personality? Protesters. It's not really an accusation. Oh shit. Yep, there you go. There's the problem. Okay. So, is the condemned aware of the severity of these charges? You understand that 34 citizens were killed. How's my audio sound, by the way? Those that were killed were aggressors who dared to attack a soldier. All 34 of them? No, he was hit by a rock thrown by a single person, but before that another rock flew over my head. I had reason to believe that the mob would become violent. If only he had John Adams defending him. But that's exactly why you were sent there, to prevent violence. And I did. Several people, thank you very much, Serge, for, you know, I asked a question, you guys answered. I actually really do appreciate that. Hello there, 10 Brayification. And I did. Several people died, but the rest of the citizens are safe. Yes, Commander-in-Chief, to real piece of work. He's not Commander-in-Chief anymore. Still bastard, though. Oh, there's a witness. Summon the witness! Introduce yourself. Blasé Fawcett, Monsieur le Judge. I am a simple blacksmith. Citizen, do you confirm being a witness of the events that are the cause of our gathering today? Yes, I was a witness. I mean, I was there. I saw everything and I want to talk about it. I really do. Tell us, oh, it looks like everybody's way in favor already of the death penalty. Tell us exactly how the accused acted. Yes, of course, that's why I'm here. I saw it. The captain, he's a captain, right? Go on. He stood between the people and started yelling at them. If someone came up to him, he pushed them away and made threats, shaking his fist. But I think he meant well. Why do you think that? I don't know, just a feeling I had. Oh, feelings! Are feelings applicable in a court of law? You know, I just have a feeling about it. Who attacked first, the crowd or the guard? I'd say the crowd. They threw something at that poor soldier. And after that, well, they started shooting. Wait, there was no order. I didn't hear any orders. It was loud and it all happened so fast. Well, that did... Okay, like it slightly eroded the thing. Why did the citizens stand between the fighting groups? I know for a fact that you could decrease tension with reason or meditation of a third party. I was not involved with either of the groups. Wait, do you mean to say you are not a supporter of the revolution? During these events, I was a soldier and an officer first and foremost. I could not allow myself the comfort of having political views. Why? The security of the people was the most important thing. Citizens from surrounding houses first, protesters second. As we are far beyond these events, I take this lack of a clear answer as evidence of your support for the monarchy. I have always remained loyal to France and her people. I don't think we need to ask him any more questions. Although, I don't know, I kind of want to take advantage of the prison sentence because I'm pretty sure we're eventually going to be hit with Prairial, the law of 22nd Prairial, and then we're only going to be able to let people free or guillotine them, so maybe I should take the middle road while I still have the chance. Plus it might pad me with the revolutionaries. Yeah, let's try to go for the prison sentence. What words did you use when addressing the crowd? I asked them for a moment of silence. Then when they were quiet, why they were fighting. That's when the peace ended and both sides started throwing accusations. Maybe you shouldn't have intervened. Maybe you only agitated the crowd more. How? By asking for a moment of silence? I was trying to shout over the crowd. Someone accused me of being a spy, trying to silence them and suppress their freedom of speech. Was that your aim? My aim was to prevent bloodshed. As you could see, it was impossible. Yeah, I want to ask about this loading muskets thing. Does the accused not think that the order to load muskets may have been issued too early? Why? Because it could have further aggravated the crowd that was already outraged. The people of Paris have an ugly history of impaling heads on pikes. I had a sizable mob before me that was quite obviously ready to attack us at any moment. No, the order was not issued too early. More than that, we should have started shooting as soon as we arrived, instead of wasting our time trying to calm them down. So you believe in brute force rather than diplomacy? If diplomacy had any chance of success in this situation, deputies of the convention would have been sent instead of the guard. Yet not one of them decided to show up. I wonder why. During your arrest, you said you were given official documents issued by Monsieur le Judge. May I interrupt? That line of defense is pure nonsense. Why is that? I bought the document myself to be signed by this judge. He signed it. He gave me the right to use force in the case of immediate danger from the protesters. You killed 34 people! Would you rather there were hundreds of dead soldiers and protesters with the rest of them still fighting each other? I had good reason to use force, and the fact that I am standing here accused only confirms that the judge present here and the deputies of the convention are merely looking for a scapegoat. Nonsense. The convention would never... Here is the document signed by Judge Alex Fidel and the head of the tribunal, Raymond Devoyer. 2 judges confirmed my right to use weapons. It was a recommendation for the convention, so they could write up such a law. And I recommend that you release me and sentence these judges to death instead. I'm one of the judges. He's right, you know. Alright, so that got the jury opinion down to prison. Let's go ahead and do it. What's this? Oh. Oh, I forgot about this. Oh yeah, incompetent... Oh no, what was the reason for the resignation? Oh shoot, I'm actually gonna ask my mentor for help here. Competence. Okay. Was his act counter-revolutionary in nature? No. Location leading to Palace Vendôme. What was the first thing the commander asked of the crowd after separating the feuding sides? Silence. I think that was the first thing he said. Alright, let's do that. Okay. So anyway, let's send him to prison. Oh boy, yeah, death penalty will actually send me to 0 with the revolutionaries. Yeah, so let's do prison here. Not guilty actually will help me a little bit with both sides actually. You know what? Let's get him acquitted. Let's get him acquitted. If we can. It's probably too late, though. Shit. Yeah, I asked too many guillotine questions. Fuck it. Fuck it. Guess we gotta do prison. I find him guilty and sentence him to prison. And my personal seal. Oh, damn it, I put it over my signature. Whoopsie. Socialist, could you please, you're getting a little bit into backseat gaming territory, okay? I'm just saying. I'm just, you know, take it easy. I hereby sentence Matthew Burrell to prison. Like, maybe if everybody in the chat was doing it, but right now it's basically just you. So, okay. I hereby sentence Matthew Burrell to prison. May the convict ponder his actions. Let's see here. Hey, did perfect score on the report. Nice. 4 out of 4. Unlocked all the questions. Cool. So I don't have to actually ask all the questions. Which makes sense mechanically. Alright. Next. Cutscene time. Oh! The saving thing in the corner. I don't know if you can see it next to the tip jar, but it was basically, freaking... It was my seal. Anyway. Here's ours! There can be no more demeaning experience for Revolutionary Ferris than the escape of Citizen Capet. He escaped, slipped right from their hands, and the revolution now seems feeble and weak. The people resemble a child that could easily be duped by anyone. However, the Republic quickly composed itself thanks to a postmaster, good for the mailman, and his people who were able to catch the fugitives escaping to Montmedy. Ordinary citizens led to the fall of a monarch. You will have a chance to serve the Republic as well, for Citizen Capet will face the tribunal tomorrow. You will choose how he will be remembered, as a traitor and a coward, or as an unlucky statesman. If it were for the prison guards to decide, there would be only one outcome. So yeah, since he got caught escaping to Montmedy, this would be, so we're in we're definitely in late June 1791. Yeah. Although historically, it was a little while before he actually was killed. So like, remember, this is 1791, so this is 2 years into the revolution, according to some people. But he doesn't actually start going on trial until December of 92, and he doesn't get executed until 93. And actually, there was that whole deposition of his on the 10th of August, 1792, which is an extremely underrated moment in the French Revolutionary calendar, if you were to ask me. Not that anybody is. But anyway, so some people are like, well, that was the real trial, and the later trial was just like a fait accompli or whatnot. Anyway. So we can allow the guards to rough up Citizen Capet in prison or leave him alone to the trial. No, let's leave him alone. You know, and here's why. Because I don't want him showing up all beaten up at the trial, and then that's going to make people sympathize with him. Just, oh no. So that's why we're going to have him we're going to leave him alone. He's committed the crimes. He's going down. He's a traitor! Yeah. And you know, the thing is, again, historically, King Louis was still King Louis even after this incident, because the deposition of his doesn't happen until August 10th, 92, and then the monarchy is still not abolished. Like, the monarchy as a whole is still not abolished until September of 92. Anyway, let me get a drink here. So, what's our action going to be? Alright, I think we have to do something that my oldest son will like, because we're about to start taking penalties with the revolutionaries because of him. I think we're gonna do an evening stroll, which my dad's not gonna like. Could do opening night at the theater. Let's do evening stroll. Yeah. Oh wait, I always forget I have to hit Y to accept here. Oh my god! My dad fucking hates me! Dad, you gotta stretch your legs. It's good for you. It's healthy. Fuck. Ugh. Anyway. We'll have to, like, please him later. But, you know, the common folk kind of like me a lot already anyway. So, oh, wow, we're just jumping right into it. I thought there would be, like, a freaking cutscene or something. But what was Napoleon doing in this time? Somebody was asking. So let's see. We're in 1791. I think he was, yeah, he was just a nobody still. He had already graduated from the academy in 85. He actually wasn't even in France yet, I think. So he joined the army in 72, not 72, in 92. Things are a little fuzzy for me in that period, but I think at one point Napoleon was actually part of a riot against French troops, but of course the army was quite divided and whatnot. But anyway, but yeah, Napoleon isn't really arriving on the scene until 93. Because that's when he writes his, that pamphlet, Les Super de Beaucarré, which basically he writes a pamphlet. And then that then that makes Robespierre like him. Not Maximilien Robespierre. I'm talking about Augustin Robespierre, Maximilian's little brother. And so then he becomes a commander at Toulon, and Toulon is his first, like, you know, major battle. So anyway, so yeah, Napoleon's not really on the radar in right now. Not until, like, so he sort of is in 92, but he's not really on the radar until 93. Because 93 was just an insane year. Just a million things were happening. All right, so Let's read the case notes, shall we? Speech for the prosecution. So this is not technically a regular case note. It's a speech. So imagine this is the opening argument of the prosecutor, because that's what it is. Compatriots, Citizen Capet, formerly known as King Louis XVI of France, must be put. You know, I'm gonna stand up for this. Excuse me, Caesar. Caesar, need a little space here. Thank you. All right. Compatriots, Citizen Capet, previously known as King Louis XVI of France, must be punished for conspiring against the people of France. Louis Capet tried to defend his absolute authority by plotting against the National Constituent Assembly and the people of France. We all remember July of 1789. He gathered an army, 15 foreign regiments, and ordered them to surround Paris. Soldiers led by Baron de Besval were to capture deputies and shoot citizens defending the reforms. And so they did. The Royal German Regiment drew first blood. After the... I got a little German there. After the plot failed, Louis Capet tried to flee the country with his family and scheme with foreign monarchs abroad. Is that not the reason he took flight from the Tuileries one night in June of 1791, using someone else's passport? Was he not headed to Montmedy, where his loyal armies were stationed, ready to take him to Austria? If it were not for Postmaster Doré, this scheme could have ended tragically for us. Louis Capet will never abandon the thought of suppressing the revolution by force. Before the events of 1792, he gave orders for the Swiss guards stationed at the Tuileries to be doubled. He conducted a public muster in front of horrified citizens. The people had no choice. They had to act before Capet attacked. Citizens of Paris who tried to stop the madness were shot at, even after Capet's escape to the National Assembly. Evidence and order issued by Marshal de Broglie to Baron de Besval. And furthermore, Carthage should be... the Austrians must be destroyed. Okay, so we actually have taken an enormous leap forward in time because of what I was just saying. So, okay, in the top right it says Act 1, Day 6. But, okay, now we know that these days in the game are not literal days, where it's like Day 1's Monday, Day 2 is Tuesday, Day 3 is Thursday, etc., etc. So we just jumped from the middle of 1791 to we are at the trial. So this is December. This must be December 11th, 1792, because because yeah, they were referencing the Tuileries. That was the insurrection on August 10th, where he gets deposed, and he's no longer a king. So the monarchy's been abolished. So yeah, we're now in December 1792. So that's interesting, because if we could do time skips like that, then there's no telling how far forward we can end up going in this. Anyway. So the revolutionaries and the common folk want me to kill him, but my family just wants me to put him in prison. Louis Capet, I hereby open your trial. Answer the questions when asked. Let's see. Hold on a second. I'm going to change the title of this. Trial of the King. So, oh yeah, Louis Philippe. Yeah, the Orleans, that's an interesting family for sure. Answer the question. So, guys, it's the Trial of the King. Can we get some Trial of the King hype? Capet is the name of one of my ancestors. My name is Louis Augustus de Bourbon. That may have been your name before you raised your hand against the people you had sworn to defend. As a king, I have... Wait, what is this thing on the right? Do you guys see this? There's like another meter on the right. Oh, the people! It's like a people meter, I guess? As a king, I have never done a thing against my people. I love them, and I still do. Objection! There is evidence of Louis Capet's treason against the people of France. He should be tried as a foreigner and an enemy, not a citizen of the Republic. Audience. Questioning the defendant will stir the impatient audience. Once angered, the people may even start a riot. Oh, so is that like if I take too long? If I ask too many questions? Interesting. Okay, questions for... Holy crap, that's a lot of questions. Look at all these questions! Oh yes, we have a representative of France. Is that some Frenchies questions in the chat? He will be judged as a citizen of France, and all the rest of you are immigrants and traitors. And anyway, no, you guys are great, and gals. Oh goodness, that's a lot. That's a lot. But okay, defending his authority. That was definitely a thing. So that would be his motive for his bullshit. Let's see, surrounding the... I'll tell you, this thing is so wonky trying to select him sometimes. Alright. Tenerification is a Mexican citizen. I also want the French monarch to be shot. Damn it, she's right. Her vote will also count twice. Is a citizen of the anti-royalist nation. That is all of humanity! For the royalists are not human. Anyway. So surrounding the city of Paris, I don't know. Okay. Suppressing the motive revolution, would that be a motive or an accusation? I think that's more motive, right? And then, wait a second. Wait, what are these arrows? Do you guys see that? You see how there's like arrows over some of these things? Or is that just meant to be the break off? Whatever. It's these triangle. Whatever. So, yeah, attempted to flee the country. That is definitely an accusation. Why is witnesses there? Oh, the postmaster, right? Except I can't select the postmaster. What the fuck? You guys are seeing this, right? It won't let me select the postmaster. Wouldn't he be a witness? I think it's the art. It's the fragments. Yeah, okay. I guess I just hadn't really noticed that before. So, doubling size of the guard. That would be a method, I think. Yeah, attempting to flee the country is the main accusation, although... Why is suppressing the revolution still there? Questions to reveal, 5. There's still 5 things. Is this a... You need a fake passport to unlock the postmaster? What? Okay. Anyway, gathering armed forces, that would also be method, right? International plot. An accusation. Shooting civilians is the accusation. That's that whole Swiss Guard thing. Fake passport would be a method of escape. Didn't I do the suppressing the revolution thing already? Accusation. Okay. Alright. Whole lot of questions. Oh, they are calling the witness later. Yeah. Postmasters, we get the job done. I'm not a postmaster, but I do work for the post office. So here's a fun fact that a lot of people don't know about. Well, actually, 2 fun facts. Wait, do I want to give the bad fun fact or the good fun fact? Let's start with the bad fun fact. So, courts of law in the United States of America, like I'm talking about local courts, not the Supreme Court probably, but let's say that you're a district court in Virginia or something, and you're trying to find somebody who's skipping out on child support payments. And you have heard that maybe they moved to Texas. So what you do is you find out where you think they live, and you actually send a letter to the postman who works that route, and the postman is going to confirm whether or not that person lives there for you, because, you know, the regular postman is, you know, the carrier. He's going to know everybody who's on the block. So that's one of the ways those courts find you. So if you live anywhere that gets mail, they might find you. But also, unrelated fun fact, but it's important information to know, because I've been somebody who's lost my wallet before. If you ever lose your you lose your wallet, not lose your wallet, but you find a lost wallet, if you find a lost wallet, just give it to a mailman or put it in a collection box, and we will take that wallet. We will find out where that person lives, and we will mail it to them, and you know, we'll do it express, so they get it quickly, and they'll just have to pay $5 to pay for the express shipping when they get it. Now, I don't know about you, but I've lost my wallet on more than one occasion in the past over the course of my life. I would happily pay only $5 to get my lost wallet back. So do that if you ever find one. Anyway, let's kill this guy, shall we? What did the accused plan to do with the constituents' deputies?
Nothing. The assembly that I joined on June 27, 1789 granted immunity to its members, and I intended to respect that.
That's right, son Frenchie. Happy Bastille Day. And yet you ordered your soldiers to seize and imprison the deputies and perhaps even execute them.
Nonsense. There's no evidence of that. My enemies spread rumors to get rid of me.
We don't need evidence against a coward who runs from his own people. I like the detail that the public seating area is completely full now, as opposed to how it's been other times, because everybody wants to see the trial of the king. Has the accused ever considered Paris and its citizens to be his enemies?
Absolutely not. I ask that you explain the question.
I'm trying to pull my cheeks out to try to pretend I'm fat like him. How can you deny it if you do not understand the question? Your army surrounded Paris. Is that not what you do to your enemies?
My soldiers were there only to ensure public order while the National Assembly was in session.
Adequate forces were already present in Paris. Was that not enough? Call in the witness! Please introduce yourself. Jean Burrell, postmaster of Saint-Ménéhould, Monsieur le Juge. Sounds like Louis the 18th from the Napoleon miniseries. I don't remember him in that. But then again, I didn't finish the Napoleon miniseries. I've said in the past I was not a terribly big fan of it. That was so weird that John Malkovich was in that movie as Talleyrand. That was like, what the fuck? Or in that miniseries. I think he produced it. That's why he was in there. Or he was one of the producers. I'm not sure how much when actors become producers they actually produce. I think Brad Pitt's the only one I ever hear of that's like actively producing movies that he says he produces. A lot of times though, it's just like they want a producer credit. It's like a prestige / money thing. Anyway, it's a case-to-case thing. Anyway, did the accused, Louis Capet, introduce himself to the witness with his full name? No, he didn't introduce himself at all. He only produced someone else's documents. So he tried to hide his identity. You could say so. I used the name from the documents after he showed them to me. He never objected. Then how did you learn of his true identity? Oh, I hope they tell the real story here. By the image on the paper assignment. Then a messenger from General Lafayette confirmed my suspicions. I ran as fast as I could to Varennes to inform the authorities. Did the accused tell anyone about the destination of his journey? He asked for the way to Montmédy. I told him to go through Varennes and Argonne and warned the coachman to be careful. The road is difficult there. Would the accused like to comment on this testimony? It confirms I... Oh, hold on. Give me grab my cheeks.
It confirms that I had no intention of escaping. I was merely traveling. It is the right of every free citizen.
You're so full of shit. Who is responsible for the delivery of the passport of the man called Pinet? My butler... okay, this is hurting my cheeks. Fuck it. My butler, I ordered him to prepare all the formalities regarding travel to Montmédy. The City Hall has not received any submissions from your butler. I do not know what to say. Monsieur le Judge, Louis Capet's butler was seen as the Austrian embassy. They surely took care of all the documents for the defectors. Monsieur Tinville, that is mere hearsay. Who said such a thing? Bring him here so that he may repeat it. There is no need. There is hard evidence, especially in light of what the accused has told us. Who helped you suppress the revolution? Frederick William II? Francis II? Catherine II? Or maybe your relative, Charles IV? Justice awaits them as well! Nonsense, all of it. My only desire is to take my family... My only desire is to take my family out of Paris, as I did not wish for them to suffer house arrest. We all know the European monarchs despise our ideas of freedom, equality, and brotherhood. Am I to understand that you try to prevent a joint, or try to prepare a joint military intervention? I deny any such accusation. There is no evidence for such outrageous claims. I would never turn against my beloved France. Liar! He'd sell his own mother, never mind his country. Let's see. Was the accused planning to reclaim his authority in Paris and reestablish an absolute monarch? Why would I do that? According to constitutional law, I was still king. Then why did you raise a number of troops in the Tuileries? I feared for my family's life. Oh, wait, hold on a second. I feared for my family's life. It is not a mystery that the citizens of Paris were incited to seize the palace and capture us, especially as it was Mr. Danton's goal. It is clear then that the guards were organized against the citizens of Paris, many of whom did fall in the terrorists. Against violence and disorder, Mr. Tinville, not against my people. Why can't I get him up to the fucking guillotine? Or what is it said? So that the fucking jury will never be down with the imprisonment? What's this? Oh yes. Papa. Maman. Oh god damn it. Not now, son. Not now. Shit. I think we're gonna have to defy the jury here, guys. Fuck! Because look, all the other questions I can ask him are gonna be pushing for acquittal. Yeah. Well, fuck what the jury has to say. We're executing this bitch. Let's do the report. Unavailable in this case. Okay. What did the accused... Oh, this is just like the thing. Imagine I pardon the king, please. The death penalty. I find the the jury votes in favor of incarcerating the defendant. They find the punishment sufficient. No! I find the defendant guilty and sentence him to death! By la guillotine, the machine shall bring down the king. Wait, what happened? What happened? I thought I hit the thing. Monsieur le Judge, the crowd in front of the building is arranged. There may soon be a massacre. A rumor has spread about hidden evidence of Citizen Capet's treason. People have gone mad. What evidence? By the way, I said signature, so this must be like a pseudo cutscene. I will go to them. I will ask you all to stay in your seats until I return. What's going on here?
People, what vexes you? Why are you so angry?
The king lied to us! That coward ran from us! He'll surely run from justice as well! We found proof of the king's treachery in his secret iron cabinet!
Ah, yes. The nasty letters. Okay, how do I do this again? Okay, attitude, withdrawn. Let's spend, this is a pretty important event, like trying to kill the king, so let's use influence points. Reveal, withdrawn, withdrawn, withdrawn. So it's like I do humility with withdrawn, right? Or how does that work? Like don't certain ones work together? They look clean looking for a bunch of unwashed presents. It's the trial of the king. You know, you get that tub, your bucket out and fill it with some water and wash your face. So commence persuasion.
Louis Capet is just flesh and blood, a citizen just like you. He cannot escape the long arm of the law.
Okay, so that works, I guess, because the manipulation thing, it has the little gray puppet, which is the same as the withdrawn icon. All right.
We won't turn a blind eye to new evidence. We shall dutifully pursue each line of inquiry for the Republic and only for the Republic. Justice must return to our country and stay here for good. No one is more concerned about this matter than a judge of the tribunal.
Cool. Still doubtful. Damn it! Questionable success! It went up every time! This is fucking bullshit. This game's mechanics need work. Hate it. 0 out of 10. Influence points. I've used up 3. I have no influence points left. My reputation has gone down. And common focus has gone down. This is crap. I hate it. It's true. Evidence of Capet's guilt has been found. So I probably should talk about a couple of things here first. So let's talk about the actual August 10th insurrection, because I've been referring to it a couple of times here. So the insurrection of August 10th, 1792 is something which I know that I haven't done it on my Voyages in Time channel. I really want to get working on that tomorrow, actually. Is what spoiler alert, when I do my series of videos where I'm saying when did the French Revolution begin, the final date that I'm going to bring up as the beginning of the French Revolution is going to be the insurrection of August 10th, 1792, also known as the storming of the Tuileries, which is when France abolishes the monarchy and formally creates a republic. So that's what's going on there. Because he went centrist and go, though, we're beheading this fool, period. Yeah, I should have gone manipulation and whatnot. So what was I saying though? I think that was it. But yeah, I was gonna look up the charges against Louis the Louis the 14th. Excuse me, 16th charges against, because there's actually quite a lot of them. You will be quite surprised. Here we go. These are the charges. The wait, is this them? The people. Okay. Oh, okay, yeah. So he would. Here's the proceedings provided almost verbatim. No, that's not it. Here we go. The 33 chart. Yeah, I found like a Q&A thing, but I'm trying to find the actual formal charges. All right, get ready, because there are 33 charges. You guys ready for this? I sure fucking hope so. Charge number 1. On June 20th, 1789, you attacked the sovereignty of the people by system. So imagine this is the judge. You know, I'm right about to execute this bitch, but for some reason we're doing the charges now. On June 20th, 1789, you attacked the sovereignty of the people by so basically, buckle up. By suspending the assemblies of its representatives and by driving them by violence from the place of their sessions. Proof thereof exists in the process verbal drafted at the tennis court of Versailles by the members of the Constituent Assembly. Charge number 2. On June 23rd, you wished to dictate the laws to the nation. You surrounded his representatives with troops. You presented them with 2 royal declarations, subversive of every liberty, and you ordered them to separate. Your declarations and the minutes of the assembly established these outrages undeniably. Charge number 3. You caused an army to march against the citizens of Paris. Your satellites caused their blood to flow, and you withdrew this army only when the capture of the Bastille and the general insurrection appraised you that the people were victorious. The discourses that you gave on the 9th, 12th, and 14th of July to diverse deputations from the Constituent Assembly indicated your intentions, and the massacres of the Tuileries stood as evidence against you. Charge number 4. After said events, and in spite of the promises you made on the 15th in the Constituent Assembly and on the 17th at the Paris City Hall, you persisted in your designs against the national liberty. For a long time, you evaded executing the decrees of August 11th concerning the abolition of personal servitude, the feudal regime, and the tithe. For a long time, you refused to acknowledge the Declaration of the Rights of Man. You doubled the number of your bodyguards and summoned the Flanders Regiment to Versailles. In orgies held before your very eyes, you permitted the national cockade to be trampled underfoot, the white cockade to be raised, and the nation blasphemed. Finally, you occasioned a new insurrection, caused the death of several citizens, and only after the defeat of your guards did you change your language and renew your perfidious promises. The proof of these facts are present in foot. Your observations of September 18th on the decrees of August 11th, in the minutes of the Constituent Assembly, in the events of the 5th and 6th October at Versailles, and in the discourse that you gave on the same day to a deputation from the Constituent Assembly, when you told it that you wished to enlighten its councils and never to separate yourself from it. So imagine like Eminem reading this or something. Charge number 5. At the Federation of 14th July, you took an oath which you have not kept. Soon you attempted to corrupt the public mind with the aid of Talon, who acted in Paris, and of Mirabeau, who was to impart a counter-revolutionary movement to the provinces. You dispersed millions to accomplish such corruption, and you even wished to make popularity a means of enslaving the people. These facts derive from a memoir of Talon, postscripted by your own hand, and from a letter written to you by Laporte on the 19th of April, in which, reporting a conversation that he had with Burrell, he told you that the millions pledged to you for distribution had produced nothing. So what do you got? Do we think he's guilty yet, guys? Charge number 6. For a long time you contemplated flight. On the 23rd of February, a memoir was sent to you indicating the means therefor, and you approved it. On the 28th, a multitude of nobles and officers distributed themselves through your apartments in the Tuileries Palace to facilitate such flight. On 18th of April, you wished to leave Paris to go to St. Cloud, but the resistance of the citizens showed you that the opposition was great. You sought to dissipate it by communicating to the Constituent Assembly a letter that you were sending to the agents of the nation in foreign countries to announce to them that you had freely accepted the constitutional articles presented to you. But on the 21st of June, you made your escape with a false passport. Sidebar, yeah, so April 18th, that was the first attempt of fleeing he's referring to. Sidebar over. You left a declaration against those same constitutional articles, you ordered the ministers not to sign any documents emanating from National Assembly, and you forbade the Minister of Justice to deliver the seals of state. The people's money was wasted in achieving the success of the treason, and the public force was to protect it under the orders of Burrell, who but lately had been charged with directing the massacre of Nancy, and to whom you had written concerning that event to attest to his popularity because he might be useful to you. These facts are proven by the memoir of the 23rd of February, postscripted in your own hand, by your declaration of the 20th of June, entirely in your handwriting, by your letter of the 24th of September 1790 to Burrell, and by a note from him in which he gave to you an accounting of the use of 983,000 livres provided by you and employed in part in the corrupting of the troops which were to be your escort. You guys are the jury right now. I'm pitching this to you. Do we kill him or what? Charge number 7. After your arrest at Varennes... Whoop, shoot, lost my page. Don't worry, guys. It's going to start getting faster. Charge number 7. After your arrest at Varennes, the exercise of the executive power was for a time taken from your hands. And still you conspired. On the 17th of July, the blood of citizens was shed at the Champ de Mars. A letter in your handwriting, written in 1790 to Lafayette, proves that a criminal coalition existed between you and him, and that Mirabeau had acceded thereto. Revision began under these cruel auspices. All kinds of corruption were employed. You paid for libels, pamphlets, newspapers intended to pervert public opinion, to discredit the assignats, and to uphold the cause of the immigrants. The registers of Septuel show that enormous sums were spent in these liberticide, that's a great word, liberticide stratagems. On the 14th of September, you apparently accepted the Constitution, your speeches announced a desire to maintain it, and you worked to overthrow it before it was even achieved! Charge number 8. An agreement was made at Pillnitz on July 24th between Leopold of Austria and Frederick William of Brandenburg, who pledged themselves to restore to France the throne of the absolute monarchy, and you were silent on that agreement up to the time when it was known to all of Europe. Charge number 9. Arles raised the standard of revolt. You favored it by sending 3 civil commissioners who concerned themselves not with repressing the counter-revolutionaries, but with justifying their attacks. Charge number 10. Avignon and the Comtat Venassin were joined to France, and you did not have the decree executed until a month had elapsed, and during that time, civil war desolated that territory. The commissioners you successfully sent there completed the work of devastation. People are restless, let's talk more chop chop. No, this is awesome! All the charges against him. Charge 11. Nimes, Montbon, and Jalez experienced great disturbances from the first days of counter-revolution up to the time when the conspiracy of Dusseldorf manifested itself. Charge number 12. You sent 22 battalions against the people of Marseille, who were marching to subdue the counter-revolution of Arles. Charge 13. You gave command to the south to Wittgenstein, who wrote to you on April 27, 1792, after he'd been recalled, quote, "A little throne, thousands of Frenchmen who have again become worthy of the vows you are making for their welfare." Charge number 14. You paid your former bodyguards at Koblenz. The registers of Septlin stand proof thereof, and several orders signed by you show that you had considerable sums passed on to Bouillet, Rochefort, Lavogouin, Cossien, Brepreux, Hamilton, and Madame Plognac. Hold on. Where's my logo? My face cam. Here we go. I'm gonna make my face cam bigger while I scream at him. Ah! Charge number 15. Deep breath. Drink of water. Oh shit, I'm out of water. Intermission! The prosecutor needs water because there's so many goddamn charges. I need some lemon juice for my throat. I'll be right back. Yeah, guys, come on. Remember we were talking about this in yesterday's stream. You know, like, you gotta react to historical events like you're watching a football match, right? So imagine that you are in the crowd. You are hearing the prosecutor bring all these charges against the king. How do you think, like, that atmosphere would have been like? Okay. Charge 15, big one. Charge 15 against King Louis XVI, former King Louis. Your brothers, enemies of the state, have rallied the emigres under their colors. They have raised regiments, borrowed money, contracted alliances in your name. You disavowed them only when you were certain that you could not harm their plans. Your understanding with them is proved by a letter written in the handwriting of Louis Stanislaw Xavier, signed by your two brothers and worded as followed. I wrote to you, quote, I wrote to you, but it was by post, and I could say nothing. We are here, two persons acting as one with the same sentiments, the same principles, the same ardor to serve you. We are maintaining silence, but that is because by breaking it too soon, we might compromise you. But we shall speak as soon as we are sure of general support, and that moment is near. If we are addressed on the part of the people, we shall say nothing, we shall listen to nothing. If it is on your behalf, we shall heed, but we shall go straight along our way. So if they want to make us say something, do not worry, be at ease about your safety. We live only to serve you. We are working ardently for that purpose, and all is going well. Even our enemies take too great an interest in your presentation to commit a useless crime which will complete their destruction. Farewell, Louis. L.S. Xavier and Charles Philippe. Charge number 16. The army of the line, which would have been brought to a war footing, was only 100,000 strong at the end of December. You thus neglected to provide for external security of the whole security of the state. Narbonne, your agent, requested a levy of 50,000 men, but he stopped the recruiting at 26,000, giving assurance that everything was ready. Nothing, however, was ready. After him, Servain proposed the formation of a camp of 20,000 men in the vicinity of Paris. The Legislative Assembly so decreed. So, whoops. Sorry, problem in the other monitor. You refused your sanction. An outburst of enthusiasm caused citizens to set out from all sides for Paris. You issued a proclamation which intended to stop them. However, our armies were lacking in soldiers. Dumouriez, Servain's successor, declared that the nation had neither arms, ammunition, or provisions, and that the positions were not defendable. Charge number 17. You were issued an order to the commander... God damn it, sorry, I'm having a problem in this other monitor. There we go. Charge 17. You were issued an order to the commanders of the troops to disorganize the army, to drive entire regiments to desertion, and have them cross the Rhine in order to place them at the disposal of your brothers and Leopold of Austria. This fact is proven by a letter from Toulon, commander of Franche-Comté. Charge number 18. You charged your diplomatic agents with favoring the coalition of foreign powers and your brothers against France, and particularly to strengthen peace between Turkey and Austria in order to excuse the latter from supplying its frontiers on the Turkish boundary, and thereby to procure for it a greater number of troops against France. A letter from Cossier Gouffier, former ambassador to Constantinople, establishes this fact. Charge number 19. You waited to be actuated by a requisition made to Minister Legarde, whom the Legislative Assembly was asking to indicate his means of providing for the external security of the state before proposing by a message the levy of 42 battalions. The charge number 20. The Prussians were advancing on our frontiers. Your minister was called upon on July 18th to give an account of the state of our political relations with Prussia. On the 10th, you replied that 50,000 Prussians were marching against us, and you were advising the legislative body officially of these imminent hostilities as required by the Constitution. Charge number 21. You entrusted the Department of War to Davencourt, nephew of Calonne, and such was the success of your conspiracy that the positions of Longwy and Verdun were surrendered as soon as the enemy appeared! Charge 22. You destroyed our navy! Many officers of that body were emigres. Hardly any remained to perform the service of the ports. However, Bertrand always granted passports, and when the legislative body exposed his guilt to you on the 8th of March, you replied that you were satisfied with his services! Charge 23. You favored the maintenance of absolute government in the colonies. Throughout them, your agents fomented disorder and counter-revolution, which took place at the same time that it occurred in France, a sufficient indication that your hand conducted this plot. Charge 24. The interior of the state was disturbed by fanatics, and you declared yourself their protector by manifesting the obvious intention of recovering your former power through them. Charge 25. On September 29th, the legislative body issued a decree against rebellious priests. You suspended the execution thereof. Charge 26. Disturbances increased. The minister declared that under existing laws he knew of no means of prosecuting the guilty parties. The legislative body issued a new decree. You suspended its execution also. Charge 27. The lack of patriotism on the part of the guards whom the Constitution had given you necessitated their disbanding. The next day, you wrote them a letter of satisfaction. You continued to pay them. This fact is proved by the accounts of the treasurer of the civil list. Charge 28. You kept the Swiss guards with you. The Constitution forbade them, and the Legislative Assembly had expressly ordered their departure. Charge 29. In Paris, you had special companies charged with carrying on activities useful to your counter-revolutionary plans. Derengbont and Giles were two of your agents. They were on the payroll of the civil lists. The receipts of Giles, charged with the organization of a company of 60 men, will be presented to you. Charge number 30. You tried to bribe with considerable sums several members of the constituent and legislative assemblies. Letters from Dufresne, Saint Leon, and several others, which will be presented to you, establish this fact. Charge 31. You allowed the French nation to be disgraced in Germany, in Italy, in Spain, since you did nothing to exact reparation for the ill treatment which the French experienced in those countries. Charge number 32. On the 10th of August, you reviewed the Swiss guards at 5 o'clock in the morning, and the Swiss guards fired first on the citizens. And finally, charge number 33. You caused the blood of Frenchmen to flow. Those are the charges against the former King Louis the 16th. What does the jury think, chat? You're the jury, by the way. What do you think? Is he guilty? What should be his punishment? I know there's a delay, so I'm waiting a second. Okay, yes. Yes, break out the caps lock. He's guilty. Guilty, 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 guilty. Death to Leroy! Death! Ha ha! Let's see. So, would the defendant like to explain why he concealed a secure iron cabinet, the documents from the convention? I hid nothing from the convention. No one asked me about the existence of such things. Any affluent Parisian has a lockable cabinet. I am keenly interested in locksmithing. Really, 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 really. Deputies. What is this? We trust with God's grace. His Majesty will soon arrive within the imperial borders. Oh my God. Look at this. Look at this correspondence we just found. We trust that with God's grace and help, His Majesty will soon arrive within the imperial borders for us to grant His Majesty as well as our beloved sister's safety and to potentially take the steps necessary to reestablish the natural European order within the borders of France. His Imperial Majesty, the Holy Roman Emperor, King of Hungary, Bohemia, Croatia, Dalmatia, Slavonia, Galicia, Lodomeria, etc. Leopold II of Habsburg. Busted now. Look at, he's corresponding with the Duke of Brunswick. You done fucked up, kid. What is this? Oh, we can reveal more questions or something? What's happening here? Hold on, I'm genuinely confused. Give me a minute. Do we have to, like... My face cam's covering the screen. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. That was still in screaming mode. There we go. Yeah, but... Okay. So... I guess we technically have to do this again or something. But yeah, we have the letters from the Duke. Wait. Yeah, letters from the Duke. That's evidence. That's evidence. More evidence. Letter from the Emperor. That's evidence. If I could actually get over there. Damn it. Damn it. Yeah. There we go. The minister's order would be a method. Suppressing the revolution is naturally counter-revolutionary. It's pretty much a synonym. The attempted escape was an event, and a minister's order would be evidence? There we go. Yes. Alright. Did the accused intend to lead the Emperor's forces to France? I certainly did not. I did not know the plans of Emperor Leopold, but I know I would never allow anyone to spill French blood. You must admit that such an offer from an enemy government paints you in a bad light. Dear God, it's merely personal correspondence from my brother-in-law. It's not personal when the letters exchanged are by rulers and deal in matters of national security. Death! Death! The people want it. The chat wants it. You've been incredibly patient, by the way. Thank you for, you know, letting me read all the charges. Okay. So, okay, I think a riot's about to break out, so let's just go ahead and kill his ass. Death penalty. I find the defendant... Wait, forgot the report. Did the defendant confess to his crime? No. Was his act counter-revolutionary in nature? Yes. Who were the corrupting politicians? I don't think any of these count. I guess I'd have to ask more questions to find out. We must imprison him. No, 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 no. It's enough. That's enough. I'll come back to that. Did Citizen Capet explain his reasoning behind Roland's mission of corruption? Oh, so I guess it was Merlin. He denies the situation took place. He claims it was merely a jest, or apparently he misspoke. How will we be tyrants? We'll be beheading a tyrant. Yeah, what's this roll-on thing here? Deputies of the assembly. Shoot the rebels. No. Apparently he misspoke. I don't know, we'll do that. I'm sure I'm gonna get 3 of these right. At least, so it's something. Here we go, guys. Execution hype. I find the defendant guilty and sentence him to death. Get a nice seal on this. Real nice seal. I sentence Citizen Capet to death by guillotine. Take the convict away. Long live the people! Down with the tyrant! Yeah, oh, it was 3 out of 4. Not bad. Alright. Yeah, baby, everything's jumping up. Reputation +7, holy crap. France has ascended, we are a republic! Come on, what's going on? Yes!
Do they understand? Their excitement was stronger than the smell of the fresh wood the guillotine was made from. Do they know what's about to happen? Sheep that only now realize they used to have fangs and claws. One thought guides their clenched fists. To bow before the new, uncompromising idol with his shining steel crown. I too have felt their eyes on me, just like him. A silent assistant in this ritual of new faith. A random acolyte, scared, doubtful. Will not the old god seek vengeance for this treachery? He abandoned them all too easily. I was unable to understand their screams. I only tasted the stench of their sweaty bodies. But I could hear one thing perfectly. Bring us the king.
Maybe I could win the heart of the crowd. Did you just quote the Bible, Socialist? So maybe I could win the heart of the crowd. Yeah, let's do it. Let's speak to them. Okay, oh, I don't think I have any more influence points. Or do I? Oh, I do, yeah. Withdrawn. And that's it. There's probably 3 withdrawns again. Aggression! We're going full aggression this time. Alright. Aggression, aggression, aggression. The guillotine would almost be a pardon. Such a hideous deed demands torture! Should we torture him? Oh my. More aggression. This is the moment. This is the moment where we break from the past and become free men. This individual spits in the face of Themis and the people. Justice will not accept such insults. Oh shit, they didn't like that. Go aggression again. Only death awaits the enemies of France. Yeah, intrigued. My reputation's now boosted. Okay, I'm happy with that.
I die as an innocent man. I forgive my enemies.
Yeah, what are you, fucking Jesus? Let's go!
Build a rope for the revolution!
Alright, well, shoot. There's a part of me that thinks that's a pretty damn good place to end it for the night. Let's see here. Yeah. I think that's just a great place to end it. You know, happy Bastille Day, everybody. And then tomorrow will be Bastille Day in America. Right now it's still the 13th in the United States, but I know it's the 14th in France, so yes. Vive la France! Vive la République! And you all have yourselves a very pleasant evening. Actually, what time is it? Let me see what time it is. Maybe I could stream. No. Tell you what, I'm going to do a couple of streams tomorrow, though. Yeah, thanks for joining me. And I'm just going to try to take care of a bunch of other things tonight, so I have time to... I really am going to try to do 2 streams tomorrow, so keep an eye out for that. And, you know, I want to keep doing some stuff for the other channel as well. But you all have yourselves a very pleasant evening. Good night.